The regime seeks to dominate every aspect of its citizens' lives and terrorizes them from within.
We don't have much the awareness of the Western mentality, or how they perceive the Koreans from outside, from the rest of the world.
For the outside world, it's sort of a freak show. That's part of the fascination with North Korea. There aren't that many real mysteries left in the world, and this is a closed, mysterious place. There's a system in North Korea called Sombong, and it's a ranking by your loyalty to the leadership. And people are divided into a core class of those who are, considered the party members and the real supporters of the regime. And then there's a wavering class in the middle, the vast middle, and then the undesirables at the bottom. And where you live, the kind of job you have, where you go to school, that's based on your class.
주체상 우리 수령님께서 창시하시고 우리 장군님께서 심화발전시키셨습니다. 주체상 사람이 모든 것이시며 모든 것을 결정한다는 그 원리를 밝혀주는 그런 사상입니다.
Pues es una ideología que pretende estar a caballo entre el marxismo-leninismo, el pensamiento de Mao Zedong y la religión. Entonces, claro, hacer una combinación de todo eso, pues al final tiene que hacerla de manera que nadie lo entienda, porque lo que pretenden es que nadie lo entienda. Si nadie lo entiende, nadie lo contesta.
North Korea is an unimaginable country. There is only one channel on TV. There is no internet. We aren't free to sing, say, wear, or think what we want. North Korea is the only country in the world that executes people for making unauthorized international phone calls.
The North Korean government has announced that it found a unicorn. Foreigners are funny. A unicorn is a mythical creature that the Greeks first mentioned, but it's in North Korea. Now, my question to you is, if you were a unicorn, you would go to North Korea, right? I mean, that's the only place you'd want to be, is there.
But everything's like that with North Korea. It's always, an exaggeration and a parody. And
I understand that, especially with North Korea, you've got so much misinformation and so little information. It's not so much misinformation, it's just I feel that any scrap of information that the West gets, it's that this, okay, well, they did this, and let's make a story out of it, and there's no information on it.
North Koreans are brainwashed from the minute they're born. Almost the first thing they learn to say is, thank you, dear leader.
First is education, obviously. It's very important since you are a kid, that you grow up and you learn to live according to the ideology, to the communism. Then, of course, the education provided not only by professors or teachers, but the mass media. Our televisions and newspapers and so on work around the human values, and they try to make the people better in their daily lives.
So they have a propagandistic purpose.
그러니까 선전적인 목적을 많이 추구합니까?
우리는 선전이면서도 교양수단입니다. 때문에 인민주의 문화 정서 생활이 크게 이바지하도록.
Kim Jong-il was, very involved in film. He wrote a book called Kim Jong-il and the Art of Cinema, explaining how film could be used to instill patriotism in the masses. They, certainly recognize the role of domestic propaganda.
You can find so many reports, even in its official budget, where they are receiving so much money from governments, which they are supposed not to do.
Well, North Korea says that universal human rights is propaganda.
What they call human rights is globalization of capitalism. These organizations are used to infiltrate in other countries to impose the American way of life and the American politics. What they call human rights is not the human right to have shelter, to have food, to have water, to have education. It's not that, because USA is the first country that never accomplished that kind of human rights.
If you call that propaganda, I call it universal human rights.
Army first politics. It means a country without a powerful army cannot survive. It will be always dependent on the big superpowers.
When Mao died, the Chinese government made a huge decision. They want to reform the old system and try something new. A major feature of the new system is introduce more market-based mechanism into the old system.
China gradually realized that private economy is very important for China. China also makes this reform that communist society countries can allow the private economy to serve for these countries.
La política china es mantener al aliado, siempre complicado aliado norcoreano, con vida.
Making North Korea reliant on China helps China keep that Korea card in their hands. America, you need me to deal with North Korea.
La prioridad